What's up, guys? Austin here. Me and MJ finally here to bring you the long-awaited video. Had to sign many contracts with this one. Many people wanted to get this one out. In talks with Robert Eggers to make a film adaptation of this video. It's the Blu-ray Collection. Many people have been waiting for this, like I said, and yeah, it's about that time. Alrighty, we're at the shelf. I'm not gonna waste anybody's time. Just gonna go ahead and get right into it. I will say the collection is ordered in alphabetically. That's just how I like to do it, and there will be little exceptions along the way that I'll explain. Starting off, got American Beauty, and this is already a controversial one. You know, another sparks the question of separating the art from the artist. You know, Kevin Spacey, he did a fantastic job in this movie, but in real life he's a piece of shit, so that's unfortunate, and it honestly makes me feel a little weird while watching the movie. I'm just like, how should I feel? But I mean, it's still a good movie nonetheless. You got to remember that it takes a lot of people to make a movie even happen, so he's not the only one. Got American Psycho on 4K. This is like $5 a few years back. Just a classic. I think you can call it a classic horror at this point. Good psychological thriller as well, mixed in. Christian Bale just does a fantastic job. American History X, this is a really good one, but my god, you're not gonna watch it very often because it's pretty fucked up. Yeah, if you do want to watch it, I'd say trigger warning. Be prepared, know what you're going into, because yeah, like I said, it's fucked up. Got the Batman. Got this on Black Friday for $10. That was a great deal, and I gotta say, I just really love this movie. I liked the Christian Bale Batman, but like I wasn't really paying attention to that one whenever it was coming out, so it didn't really have as much of an impact on me. But this, I watched this as it's coming out, and it feels like my Batman, and Robert Pattinson's one of my favorite actors, so it just adds so much to it. Love it. Got the Blair Witch Project. I seem to like this movie more and more every time I watch it, so it might end up being one of my favorites one day. Got the Blob here, released from Scream Factory. It's a good 80s kind of gory movie. You know, a lot of creative, inventive things you can do in these type of movies, and I still need to see, the original, I think it came out in the 50s. I still need to see that one, but this is entertaining. This is a good time. All right, this right here is a big one. This is Boyhood Criterion Collection. Shout out to my boy Andrew for gifting this to me. He knows I love the movie and I love Criterion, and this is such a great release too. I've only watched I've watched a good handful of the special features, but there's a lot on here, and it's got a cool booklet. I'm not sure how many releases come with the booklet, but I have flipped through that. Seriously, check out Boyhood. Got Brewster's Millions from Shout Select. Never really seen anything with Richard Pryor, so I wanted to give this one a try, and it's a good time. I need to check it out again, but I know I enjoyed the first time. Cool concept. The original Candyman, released from Scream Factory. I don't know why, but this is just one of those releases that it came out, and then very shortly after it was like, okay, here, it's on sale forever. This one is just a super cheap release, but it's a really, classic movie, and oh man, it's honestly kind of disturbing at parts. Actually, a bit of a slow burn as well. I showed this to my parent, well, I didn't show it to him for the first time, but we watched it a few months ago, and they did not remember it being so slow. They were like, whoa, I do not recall this, so I guess warning going into that, but I still like it. Tony Todd. Got Clerks 2 on Blu-ray. I need to pick up the first one, and I don't even know if I'll pick up the third one, honestly. I probably will, just to complete the trilogy, but shit, that was not good. Really like Clerks 2, though. I've watched it so many times throughout my teenage years. Very quotable, always a good time. Got Cloverfield on 4K. I think people slept on this movie when it came out, but once 10 Cloverfield Lane right here came out, then sheesh, people was really starting to listen. And yeah, shout out 10 Cloverfield Lane. Went and saw this in theaters with my parents. They did not like it, but of course I did, and hell, I really liked this movie. The ending, you all know what I'm talking about with the ending. I don't even know how I really feel about that myself, but I know for most of the movie I really enjoy it. Got the collector here. I got this at the dollar store of all places. It was $5, and I had to snatch it up because whenever I went on Blu-ray.com and searched it up, it was like $60. I don't know if it's still that, but it looks like it's just one of those random out-of-print titles. This is a really good movie. It's like a home invasion type, and I have my own headcanon that goes with it, so that makes it even better for me. Scream Factory's beautiful, beautiful box set of Creepshow. I haven't even opened it yet. I'm waiting until, well, when I feel like watching it again, but I'll definitely want to watch it for Halloween this year, or, October of this year, but the Creepshow is so good. I like the first two. Haven't seen the third. And I've only seen a few episodes of the series because I want to watch them on Blu-ray. But you have to check out Creepshow. Classic horror. 2004 Dawn of the Dead remake. This is just kind of a, non-offensive, just good remake, I guess. I mean, not a whole lot going on, and it definitely doesn't have as much as the original, that's for sure. But I mean, it's still a fun time. It's a popcorn flick for sure. We got the original Day of the Dead from Scream Factory. This is one of the original top 10 Scream Factory releases. I used to have the slipcover for this. It was just so, I mean, it's a classic to start out on. I mean, I love that. As you're gonna see throughout the collection, I really do love Scream Factory as a label, and I want to get more and more and more and more. But Day of the Dead, I mean, gosh, this is crazy. Tom Savini went ham, went sicko mode on the special effects. Dr. Frankenstein is awesome, and then Bub the Zombie. I mean, that's just classic, iconic right there. Got The Day the Earth Stood Still, the original from, I think, the 50s. I'm just guessing, honestly. As you can see, you got that for $5.99, and I think this is another one that was kind of expensive, or well, actually not expensive. I think it goes for $20 on Amazon if it hasn't changed. But this is an amazing movie, honestly. I was never this movie right here makes me want to get into those old 50s sci-fi movies, and I'll probably be disappointed by them just because they're not this movie specifically. But this movie is so cool, and it brings up so many questions that we all should be asking ourselves, and just the future technology. I love it so much. Got Dead Time Stories here. This is not, I'd say this leans a bit more on the bad side of Scream Factory's releases, but I mean, it's still an entertaining time, and I mean, it's not terrible. There is some good things to be pulled from, and that's if anybody is curious, or if you want to comment and say I have shitty movies or something, I collect whatever I want to collect. I collect my favorite movies. I collect bad movies. Even if a movie, I feel like, I don't know, I could talk about this for a long time, but it doesn't matter. Even if a movie's bad, you can still gain something from it. There could still be at least one cool scene, or one good actor, or some cool special effects or something. No movie is completely worthless, I don't think. So yeah, that's my defense for this movie. Interesting time. Got The Devil's Candy. This is one of the most disturbing movies I've ever seen, honestly. It's up there. It's definitely on my top 5. It unnerves me. 10 out of 10 terrifying, like it says. This is actually another Scream Factory release, like I said, but I originally saw it on Netflix when I was 16, and it's always messed me up. Makes me afraid to go outside in the dark after I watch it. Got the Rob Zombie Firefly trilogy, so you might be wondering why it's in the D section, and I do that because Devil's Rejects. I feel like this is the Devil's Rejects trilogy instead of the Firefly trilogy. It's got House of a Thousand Corpses, Devil's Rejects, and 3 from Hell. Obviously, the best being the Devil's Rejects. People don't like House of a Thousand Corpses. I've heard even Rob Zombie himself doesn't like that movie, but it's just so wild and so creative. Dr. Satan, come on now. Die Hard on 4K. one of the best Christmas movies of all time. I watched it on Christmas last year, not 2022, but 2021. Didn't watch it this year, or, didn't watch it in 2022, but I need to watch it for 2023, so see you in 12 months, old buddy. District 9 here, bought this with my boy Andy, at a movie trading co. I miss that place is awesome. Insane sci-fi film that took me way too long to see, and I'm trying to get better about that with seeing these classic films, but, I don't know if you'd call this movie classic, but, I mean, I remember all the marketing for it back when it came out in like 2010. It was everywhere. I remember seeing fucking aliens in Walmart and shit. So good times. Got Django Unchained, one of my favorite Tarantino movies. I'd have to go look at my list on Letterboxd. By the way, follow me on Letterboxd, by the way. Authentic Austin, thank you. I don't know, like I said, I don't remember where this ranks, but it's definitely high up there. Drag Me to Hell, this is one of my favorite Sam Raimi movies, and one of my favorite artworks from Scream Factory, because just look at that. Such a twisted man. Next up, I have the Evil Dead trilogy, but I'm missing the second one, so I have Evil Dead 1, Steelbook, which is very lovely, feels lovely. Gotta keep it in great condition. And then Army of Darkness from Scream Factory. This is one of my favorite movies of all time. A memory I have that I always associate with this movie is when I was a kid, one time my dad was at work and it was just me and my mom home. I was going through my dad's VHS tapes and I just found this one, Army of Darkness. I was like, oh, that sounds interesting. I don't know, I must have been like 8 at the time or so. And I remember my mom, she told me, don't watch that, it's gonna scare you. And I was like, no, it's not. And of course, I watched it. I no telling how, like, probably 30 seconds, I don't even know. When's this first scary thing? I think it was whenever the dude got thrown into the pit and the geyser of blood. I think that was what did it for me. And I, like, ran to my mom crying. I was like, why did you let me watch this? And just funny all around. It took me many years. Like, I had to watch it I attempted to watch it for so many years until I could finally, I think at like the age of 13 maybe, maybe 12, I was like finally able to watch it all the way through, and I felt like a real man. I'll always love that movie. Got Ex Machina. My boy Andy showed me this last time I was at his house, and oh my god, it was such a mind twist. I had no idea really what to expect other than just AI. I didn't know where it was gonna go with that, but this shit was crazy. Ferris Bueller's Day Off, classic comedy that everybody needs to have in their collection. Fight Club, I actually just got this one back. I should also mention, I used to have probably double the amount of Blu-rays I have now, but I was jobless for a while. I was having trouble finding work. So, and I had to pay my bills, so eventually I had to start selling off the collection. So I'm still reacquiring all these, lost all these Blu-rays I had to get rid of. I used to say this was one of my favorite movies of all time, but now that sounds kind of like, I don't know, people kind of make fun of you for it, but I mean, it is just a really crazy, like, trippy story. And yeah, I gotta admit the fighting aspect is interesting as well, like what being in a fight is supposed to do for you and all that. I don't know. This one I'm probably not gonna, I'll drag it out a little bit. Got the Fly collection from Scream Factory. This is the 50s Fly, Return of the Fly, Curse of the Fly, and then the 1980s Fly and its sequel, which is really crazy, to be honest. This sequel, it's a weird sequel. This right here is such a classic movie. Got Vincent Price in it, and it's just, honestly, it's kind of disturbing. Very creepy, for sure. Obviously, the effects are outdated, but just the stuff that it implies is what really gets me. These two are kind of forgettable, to be honest. And then, of course, everyone knows about this one. Classic. This right here I think might be the rarest in my collection. I had to buy it off of eBay. Had all my bills paid a couple years ago and stuff. I was doing good, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna buy me an out of print Scream Factory, one I've wanted for a long time. And I went on eBay. I searched from beyond Scream Factory and I found this one for $50. So I'm very happy with the purchase because this is a crazy ass movie. I mean, it's H.P. Lovecraft, so that tells you enough, but you definitely need to check this movie out. You know, gross out warning, sex warning, just, oh man, it's crazy. I especially like, what's his name? Ken Foree. I didn't know he was in the movie, so when he came on screen, I was so excited. And yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about him. I really don't even know what to say about this one. The Funhouse, just a weird ass movie. That's really all I remember from it. I've only seen it once, and I just know that it does get kind of fucked up at some points. But overall, it is kind of like a bit of a slow burn. Ooh, next up, got Ginger Snaps. I feel like this is a classic movie, even though I didn't grow up watching it. Oh, well, I guess like I kind of discovered it in like 2016, maybe somewhere around there. But I mean, just puberty werewolf movie. That's all that needs to be said. The werewolf effects are crazy in this. There he is right there. And of course, Catherine Isabel, I think is her name. She went on, to do a lot in the horror scene. I don't think she really has done a whole lot, but I'm not completely sure. But she was in American Mary, which I need to pick up because that movie is crazy. Ooh, got the Toho Godzilla collection. Got Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah and Godzilla vs. Mothra, The Battle for Earth. I've seen both of these before, but it's been many, many years, so really don't remember them. I actually didn't even know I still had this. My dad was going through like our old storage stuff, and he found some of my Blu-rays, and I was so excited to get these back, so I will watch these again at some point. Ooh, again, I saw this in theaters as well. Again, my parents hated it, but I thought it was so fucking dope. Oh my god. Have no use for the 3D, probably will never watch the 3D, but it was $5 at the dollar store, so it's like, can't pass it up. Love this movie. Godzilla vs. Kong, got this for $6 at Black Friday. Should've waited so I could get the 4K when it went on sale, but hey, you live and you learn. Okay, here's one of my favorite movies of all time, Good Time with Robert Pattinson. This is a Safdie Brothers movie, and oh my god, you can tell just because of the anxiety and suspense. Basically, these two brothers, they rob a bank at the beginning of the movie. One of them gets taken into custody, goes to jail, and the other is out on the streets trying to raise the money to get him out. And, kind of a piece of shit dude. He goes and does whatever to make the money, and he just gets himself into more and more trouble, and it's just... He drags you along on this wild, crazy ride, and it's a lot to handle. Gran Torino, this is a classic Clint Eastwood movie. I feel like I see my grandfather as this man in some ways, but he's like not as mean, or he's not mean at all. But I don't know, just old man doing his thing, This is a great movie though. Touches on a lot of interesting topics, and then he himself is just a very, very much flawed character that you see grow throughout the movie. So if you want to see that, which you should, check it out. Hacksaw Ridge 4K. I actually don't have a 4K TV or a 4K player, but one day I will, and one day I'll be able to watch these 4K titles. I feel like this will be a really good one because there's a lot of action in it. This is like, I don't know, I think this might be one of my favorite like war movies, just because I mean it follows a fantastic character. Andrew Garfield was fantastic acting the character, and crazy action scenes, really gory at times, a lot of fun. Next up, got Halloween 2 from Scream Factory. I think, again, this was like one of the first couple Scream Factories that came out, and I really like this movie. I haven't seen it that many times, but I know everybody like really hates this movie, and it's like all the hospital scenes and stuff. I don't know, I didn't mind it, but maybe I need to go back and rewatch it. I don't have Halloween 1, because I want to pick up the new 4K release of it before I just had the regular like $5 version. Got Halloween 3 Scream Factory. I've never really liked this movie so much, and I think that's a problem with me, to be honest. Like, I feel like this is a good movie. I'm just not giving it enough credit. Definitely one I need to go back and rewatch. At the Hateful Eight, this is very like a, very fun, cozy type movie. I think that, specifically because they're, snowed in as they are. Just a great whodunit type movie. Samuel L. Jackson, Walton Goggins, Tim Roth, Michael Madsen, just all these, great actors. And I mean, you go to Tarantino and you expect full cast. I mean, stacked cast. And it's always pretty awesome. The Hills Have Eyes remake. This shit goes hard, and it's nasty and disgusting and brutal. And it's not pleasant to watch, but it's a good horror movie. You got Hobo with a Shotgun. This movie is absolutely crazy. You just gotta check it out. It's a hobo with a shotgun, grindhouse. It's crazy. Just check it out. There's nothing I can say about this movie. Just check it out. Fuck. Got Horns with Daniel Radcliffe. This movie is a trip. He grows horns and then everybody around him just starts like becoming evil or just, being rude and shit. And there's a lot more tied into that. Really fun story. Ooh, got the original How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Oh god. Look at that slipcover. All sparkly and shit. Yeah, what can I say? I mean, you never know when you're gonna want to watch the original How the Grinch Stole Christmas. So I had to have it. Of course, if I'm gonna have the original, I gotta have the remake as well. The Jim Carrey reimagining. Oh my god, this movie is so good. I watched it this last year for Christmas. Such a good time. Brought back so many good memories. Thank you, Ron Howard. Thank you, Jim Carrey. Love you. Got Idle Hands, Scream Factory. This is a good early 2000s like stoner dark comedy. Fun, basically dude's hand gets possessed by Satan, I guess. Has to cut it off and now is, just fucking around with his hand. Shit's weird. I like this, just these obtuse type movies. Oh, and speaking of obtuse type movies, we got Inception. This movie, I mean, dazzling, breathtaking, truly incredible, mind-bending. I mean, what else can you say about it? Everybody has been curious about the dreams that they have. I mean, shit. It's something that we can't control, and they really, they might have meaning to them, but really a lot of times they make no sense. And now we're invading dreams and trying to put information into somebody's head through a dream. This is just some crazy shit. Christopher Nolan, just crazy man. Excited to see his new film this year. Forget what it's called. Oh, and we got Inglourious Bastards on 4K with a beautiful slipcover. Love that. Ooh. But I just rewatched this film recently. One of my favorite. I feel like I say that with every Tarantino film. One of my favorites, but I mean, they're all great. I mean, the man doesn't miss. I like Death Proof as well. I don't fuck you if you don't like Death. No, I'm playing, but come on now. All right, would you look at that? We're already down to the second shelf. Look at this. This is crazy. Let's go ahead and get started with Interstellar. Got this also at Black Friday. $10. Great deal. Rewatched it again. Fantastic movie. If you like space, it's very crazy and mind-bending with all the science. Also hits with the heartfelt moments. The acting is great. McConaughey does a great job. Might be one of my favorite Nolan films. It Follows. Did not like this movie when it first came out. And then I finally rewatched it for the second time just here a couple months ago. And yeah, it's damn good. It deserves the hype around it. I like how there are things put in the movie that don't make sense to imply, that setting of a nightmare. Definitely check it out. Ooh, we got Kill Bill Volume 1 and Volume 2. I'll say it again. Two of my favorite Tarantino films. Tarantino never misses. Grew up, weird to say, I kind of grew up watching this movie. I remember my grandfather. My grandfather, for the most part, just only watches, he has like a very nice TV, and all he watches is black and white westerns and the news. But I remember growing up, he would watch Kill Bill quite often. And that's the first time I saw it, was when I was like very young. So that wasn't probably the best thing parenting wise, but it's alright. I grew up fine. Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Got the Arrow video. I think this is my only Arrow video. I need to get more. Very cool horror label, which I guess they do more than horror nowadays. I love this artwork. That's just awesome. You're looking for a cheesy, campy 80s horror comedy about killer clowns? You gotta check this out. Honestly, this did kind of creep me out a little bit as a child, but I got over it. Got King Kong from, I believe, 1978. There is a like 3-hour and 30-minute TV cut of this movie on this edition. And that's, you know, Scream Factory doing they shit. It's a little forgettable just because I think it copies the original a lot, which I haven't seen, but like I've seen comparisons and I think it's like a lot of just the same thing. And I don't really care for who was it? I think it was Jeff Daniels. No, Jeff Bridges, that's who it was. That was the main actor in there. I really didn't care for his performance that much, but still, cool for the time. Oh, we got the Lego movie. I remember seeing this in theaters. I was a little embarrassed asking my mom to take me to the theaters to see this, but it was worth it. This movie is badass for a kid's movie. I mean, it's one of the best to come out in, honestly, my lifetime, I think. That's crazy to say, but I mean, visually, oh my god, it looks so good, and just such a feel-good type movie. Got Deadpool with the Walmart exclusive slipcover. You might be wondering, why is this in the M section? Well, that's because this is the start of the Marvel collection. I'm just gonna put them all together. Eventually, when I have more DC movies, I'll put them together. But yeah, I'm really passionate about the Marvel movies and the MCU. And basically, if the movie isn't in the MCU, or the character isn't in the MCU yet, then I will just put it to the side and put it alphabetically. But Deadpool will be in the MCU soon, so I'm so excited about that. I have to make a video talking about the MCU one day. I really do have a huge passion for it. As nerdy and embarrassing as that is, but the first Deadpool, I mean, they didn't think it could be done. R-rated superhero movie, they were like, I don't know, we don't know about this, we might lose money. And look at them now. Fantastic Four double feature. These two movies were from, you know, my childhood, so I like it, but it is flawed. And as you'll see, I do not have many of the MCU movies there are many I need to pick up. And the first one that I have them sorted chronologically, and the first one I have is The Incredible Hulk. This movie gets shitted on too much. It's a good movie. Shut up. Yeah, then skipping all the way over to Guardians of the Galaxy. I think I saw this movie 2 or 3 times in theaters when I was like 13 or 14. Yeah, 13. And just such a good time. I mean, this movie is so great. Also, fun fact, it is the first superhero movie, and specifically Marvel movie, to reach 1 million watchers on Letterboxd. So fun Letterboxd facts for you. Got Black Panther, rest in peace King. Wanted to see Black Panther 2, but didn't get a chance. Probably still in theaters, to be honest, but I don't know. To be honest, I'm thinking about going to see that new Megan movie because it's getting surprisingly good ratings, like really good. I'll have to check it out maybe. But Black Panther, this movie took some time to grow on me, but once it did, man, I really like this movie, and the world building that it does. And Wakanda is just a great setting. Oh boy, here go one of my favorites, Far From Home. I love Spider-Man. Spider-Man is, shit, I'll be honest, yeah, he's my favorite character. My favorite Marvel character of all time. My favorite superhero, for sure. And I need to get all of the other Spider-Man movies, but this is a really good one. And Mysterio is a really fascinating villain. Memento, another one of Christopher Nolan's better movies. Crazy just time jumps, and you know, again, kind of fucked up if you want to see something like that. Great twist. Guy Pearce does great. Carrie Ann Moss does really great. Once some stuff happens, and that's all I'll say. Midsummer, I just had to rebuy this one, just got it back, and actually didn't have a slipcover before, but now I do, so hell yeah. This movie is fucking crazy. It is daytime horror, which you don't see a lot of. Very impressive. And also, Florence Pugh, that's my woman. Like, I love her. That's my celebrity crush. She is amazing. At Monster House, a childhood classic, fun for the Halloween times. I got this Scream Factory steelbook of Motel Hell. It's 4K, so I haven't opened it yet, but one day I'll give it a watch. Got Nightbreed, Scream Factory. This is a dope movie. Huge world. I wish, I don't know if there's any like extra type of reading that I can do on this movie or anything, like novels or anything, but I would love to dive more into this world because, I mean, just look at all these characters on the front. That's only a portion of what you get. I think this is a Best Buy exclusive steelbook of A Nightmare on Elm Street. I had to have this one in my collection, and it's a I like the look of this one, but I definitely do need to also get the collection. But damn, I'm hoping that Scream Factory releases a collection for it soon, because apparently the only one that's available is pretty bare bones, but no telling what they'll do with it. Hopefully it has a better release than Friday the 13th, which had a lot of problems, I think, when it first came out. I still don't have it yet. Got Nosferatu. I bought this on a Scream Factory sale a long time ago, and I still haven't seen it, so I need to check this one out. But every time when I feel like watching it, I'm also at the same point, like, where I'm tired enough that I don't feel like reading subtitles. So I just need to make the time for it. People Under the Stairs. This is a classic Wes Craven movie, I feel like. Just really like fun, kooky characters, especially this guy right here. Don't remember his name, but I like Fool in this movie, and this bitch, oh my god, definitely check this out. I'm sure you can find it on streaming services. Check it out, or buy the Blu-ray. Next up, got a Pokemon triple feature. I bought this just for the first movie because I grew up with this movie, and I'd never seen 2000. I think I liked it, and I have not watched the third movie yet. I'll probably get around to it eventually, but the first movie is classic. Got Prisoners, another one I got at the dollar store for $5. This is a fucked up, gritty, just perfect on a rainy day type movie. I mean, ugh. I'm getting cold just looking at it. Got Pulp Fiction Blu-ray, which probably gonna retire here soon once I get my hands on the 4K. But oh boy, classic Tarantino. Also my favorite Tarantino. Pumpkinhead. This is another 4K steelbook. So I can't actually watch it, but I did open it. Very cool looking. Return of the Living Dead Part 2. Okay, sequel. And I need to pick up the part 1 because it went out of print, and then they released a 4K version of it, so gotta pick that up before that goes out of print. Got The Revenant, which, oh my gosh, one of my favorite movies. It's beautiful, so beautiful, well shot, amazing acting. That bear scene though, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Crazy. Scary Movie 2. This movie makes me laugh my ass off. I need to get the first one, maybe the third one, and definitely probably none of the others. Maybe 5, I don't know. If you like spoof movies, you gotta watch this movie for real. 7, this is a classic thriller movie, what's in the fucking box. Shaun of the Dead, another classic movie. This actually another one that scared me as a child. The scene where the zombies are invading the Winchester, and what's his name? I can't remember his name, but he gets his like stomach ripped open. That shit fucked me up. Oh, got a digibook. Y'all probably forgot about these, didn't y'all? I don't think they really release these too much anymore. But Shawshank Redemption, classic movie. This movie really makes me feel things, and it's very powerful. Shivers, this is a fucked up Cronenberg movie. that I need to rewatch this one actually, because it's got like slugs that make you horny. Yeah, I'm not kidding. One of my favorite Scream Factory releases, a classic horror movie in my opinion, Sleepaway Camp. A lot of this movie, you just, I mean, a lot of it's just the vibe of it, of just the time that it was made. I feel like it's more than just what everybody knows about the movie, but just, you know, everything about it, from how the characters are portrayed, or, you know, how the actors play them and such. Just a really good time, or good vibes. But then I would say that part 2 is where like the really just good time comedy comes in, because yeah, it turns into a comedy. Got Slither, James Gunn going fucking crazy with these slugs. Man, this hentai is getting out of control. Okay, childhood favorite, Small Soldiers. I wore this VHS the fuck out, man. I was always watching this movie. I love this movie. It's like a PG-13 Toy Story. Tales from the Dark Side, the movie. Not my favorite horror anthology, but has some really good stories, like this little, I guess, gargoyle type thing. Really cool. And the cat was also pretty frightening. Tales from the Hood, one of my favorite horror anthologies. This is so good. The sequels, not so much, but this right here is classic horror anthology. Talladega Nights, baby, shake and bake. One of my favorite comedies. I grew up around a lot of these stereotypes, so it's just that much funnier to me because of that. Got Terror Vision and the Video Dead. I think this is out of print now, but I'm not sure. But Terror Vision, I love this movie so much. It's so weird, so 80s. You can just feel it, see it, smell it. It's everywhere. And then Video Dead is good, kind of a slow burn, but it's actually a really good zombie movie. They Live, classic John Carpenter. Keith David, I love him in this movie. Just how, like, I don't know how he could just doesn't really go along with it. They get into the fight, and then it's like, all right, I guess this is what it is. The Thing, one of my favorite horror movies of all time, one of my favorite movies in general of all time. I love you can't trust anybody, you never feel safe, you don't know who is who. I love it so much, and it's great during to watch in the winter time, just because of the setting. Snow, it looks so fucking cold. Oh, here comes another horror classic, Trick or Treat. This movie is amazing. I'm sorry if I'm not giving that great of a description of these movies. Like, I might be saying the same thing, but I mean, yeah, I love these movies that I have, and this one especially. Like I said, horror anthology, one of my favorite genres, and this is like one of the best. Tropic Thunder, again, one of my favorite comedies. I love how it critiques Hollywood and filmmaking in general. It's so funny. The Truman Show, very trippy movie. I've only seen this one once, so there's probably a lot I missed. I need to go back and rewatch this one. The First VHS, oh, this is a good movie, and I'm so happy that it turned into a series, and there's now like a 5th one, maybe a 6th one, I don't know, coming out, which I do need to get caught up. I'm like three behind, but yeah. This whole last section of the collection looks to be anthology horror. I didn't mean to do that. Young Guns. This is a great Western. My dad introduced me to this movie when I was young, and I don't know, I've always just really enjoyed it. And their performances are great. Emilio Estevez as Billy the Kid is awesome. And lastly, we have Violet. Now, this would go over here in the V section, but I had to put it at the end because, do you notice something? This isn't right. This is actually my good friend Samuel Venici, his first feature film, and I am lucky enough to have number 91 of 300. But yeah, I was actually watching this recently because, you know, I've been thinking about some filmmaking type stuff, you know, and yeah. I'm really proud of him for what he did in this movie, and I think there's a lot of great things to be taken away from it. All right, guys, that's pretty much it. That's the Blu-ray collection. I hope you guys enjoy. Let's give you one last look through. Hell yeah. Ooh. Oh. And then some comics. See you guys next time. Thank you, MJ, for being eye candy.